Thank you, and happy Palm Sunday to all our viewers across the globe. Welcome to the Spotlight live from Washington, D.C., from the studios of Media to Africa. Today we'll be focusing on a noble cause of fine people from the Osing Kingdom who would be with me in the studio and remotely to discuss a very important event that is upcoming in the community here in the Washington, D.C. metropolis. Uh, it is the season of giving and the season to celebrate, and we are getting to do that within our very, very formidable Osing community here in the DMV, but also to extend that to the global Osing community here in the US, in Europe, Asia, and in Cameroon, and generally, again, back home in the mother continent. So in the studio with me, I have Dr. Peter B., who is the president of the Osing Cultural and Development Association here in the Washington, D.C. metropolis, and Dr. Reverend Augustine Eta, who is also a very active member within the Osing community. And remotely we have Dr. Mark Esther Ebot, who is the coordinator of the fundraising committee. She has
Ma
been the
Elizabeth
one.
Ebot.
Ma, what did you say?
Ma Elizabeth Ebot.
Yes, thanks for that correction, Ma Elizabeth Abode. She is the one who has decided to coordinate with the president to bring us here this afternoon for a very worthy cause to organize, mobilize, and bring the people of Osing here in the DMV with their friends and sister organizations for this wonderful initiative to raise funds for some major projects in Osing village in the Manu Division Southwest region of Cameroon. My name is Tabenyang Echu again. Welcome, Doctor. Let me start from you. Welcome. Can you again introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Professor Peter Mb and President for Odca in DMV area. And again, just to introduce myself, that's where it is, and we're trying to work hard to get things done together. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Dr. Reverend Gosineta.
Yes, just like you mentioned, my name is Reverend Dr. Augustine Eta, and as I told you earlier, I am also the chief or the president of MESFA USA. Concerning Osing, I am an in-law, and of course, I'm going to be delivering uh, uh, the message or the keynote concerning the fundraiser that is coming on the 4th of April, uh, uh, of course, this year.
My Elizabeth, over to you. I'm sending you to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tabenyang, our host. My name is Mrs. Elizabeth Ebot. I am calling virtually from Tampa, Florida. I am the current financial secretary of Odca Dmv and the coordinator of this fundraising committee. I am also a national treasurer of AUMMI USA Incorporated, just to add that piece there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma Elizabeth, and welcome. Dr. Peter B, I'm going to go to you direct. When you hear about Osing, where's Osing exactly?
Osing is where Osing is located. Osing is a village that's located in the southwest region of Cameroon, Central Africa, within the Umojok subdivision of Manu Division, just southwest of Manfe Town. It is a vibrant and resilient community, but like many rural areas, access to clean water, hospital, and education has always been a challenge. So that's where Osing is. And that's what we're going to talk about, how we can structure this thing and improve the village.
Osing is noted in the division when it comes to, a bastion of education and a history of having produced notable personalities in the entire Manu division, not even Manu division, the southwest region. You have legendary footballers like the late Tato Stephen. You have the iconic general, late Chief General James Tato. Professor Ako was also the chief of late. Osing has produced men and women of caliber. What really drives that within the Osing community?
One of the problems when I took over power as president of Odca Dmv, this were the lacking things that I saw. Osing has produced many, many intellects, many, many advanced people. But if you go back and look at it, the development in Osing is lacking because I don't think we put a comprehensive things together. We say let's develop Osing. If we compare Osing to other villages, maybe Bisumabang, Kembong, we will see that Osing that has produced so much intellects, we are still backwards. And that is not something that is I can take lightly. I don't think so. So I am using this to bring this society together, to bring the Osing people together. Though it doesn't matter where they are, they can be in America, they can be in Europe, they can be in Africa. But we want to bring this Osing together so that they should look back and see where they came from or where their parents came from, so that we can see if we can do something productive to help Osing. That is one of the reasons I decided that this is important. So when I took over power, those were my pledges for that.
And I'm still going to stay with you based on your disappointment with the level of development. I mean, if it's not commensurate with the level of individual success that has come out from that great village. I have some of my finest friends from there, and Osing sits at the junction between you going to Kupem and Nikuba division, that is through Akat and Buti, and then going through Kembong, and then southwards towards Bisonabang and heading down to Mamfe. So as a strategic location, what has really limited Osing's ability to capture that essence to push forward its development?
From my own perspective, what I see is that we lack the integrity to come together. I think everybody wants to work independently or individually, which is not the case. If we can put our resources together and know that we are children from Osing, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are, we can do something that is great for Osing. Osing, as you said, Osing sits in a strategic location. But how many of us, you produce a lot of children, you produce a lot of good people, then we don't see them. I don't see anything that you go back, the place is only deteriorating instead of improving. So what is the problem? We have to look at the solutions, what is happening, and see where we can find solutions to these problems. So there's a lot of problem with that.
Thank you. Elizabeth, let me bring you on. You have decided to chair this fundraising committee, and I know this is very close at heart to you. I think again, like you indicated, you double as the national treasurer of Zumema, one of the trending sisterhood solidarity group here in for a long time within the Manu community. So shout out to all the Umema queens from the banks of the Manu River, all across the US and Europe. Not to remind the other groups, I think the women are doing great, and I am hopeful that you're going to bring that spirit to gear up the Osing people and the friends of the Osing community here in the DMV to push forward this wonderful initiative that has been put together. So why at this time do we have this fundraiser?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tabenyang, for. Firstly, I would like to commend and to give a shout out to Odca Dmv members, to Dr. Peter Mb as the president, to Mrs. Constance Tato, the VP. I also want to thank the organizing committee, the fundraiser committee that's being chaired by Mrs. Pauline Abunonjomo. And most also importantly, to recognize and appreciate our OTCA National President, Dr. Gladys Tato Ayokota. She has been a huge resource, and we're blessed to have her as a member of our branch. Okay, well, the fundraiser started about a year ago. The idea of this fundraiser came about, I think, about a year ago, again, under the leadership of Professor Dr. Peter Mb, who is present here with us. Again, being some of the reasons that he has mentioned already, with some infrastructures that are already there but that have not been improved, given also the fact that our region has suffered for some time the crisis we all know about. There's been exodus, people leaving the village to go outside for safety, for search of perhaps better opportunities. So, yeah, it's been even the school, the buildings have run down. The hospital that was there that had been working for a long time also needs improvement. So, yeah, so we decided, well, what time is a better time, if not now, to try to launch this fundraiser, and so we can help to improve the, as I said, the already structures that are there, and to for the education part to launch education for our young boys and young girls in Osing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Elizabeth. Reverend Dr. Augustine, I am going to come over to you as an in-law. For those of us who grew up in the surrounding villages of Osing, Osing was synonymous to London. And when I came here, I didn't know that there were Osing people here in the US. I've always been thinking that every Osing person goes to London. I'm like, why would they be Osing London and all of that? So it is quite I mean, refreshing to see that you have men with noble hearts that have not decided to sit on and fold their hands while their kinsmen are going through a lot of challenges. And for those of us who are either related to sing by birth, or marriage, or by extension to the friendships that we have built within that community, it is a breath of fresh air to see that we can conceptualize this kind of noble initiative to push forward the development of our own communities and strengthen their livelihood of a better life. What do you have to tell people like yourself, the in-laws, the friends, about the importance of this fundraiser?
Thank you, Mr. Tabenyang. It is a privilege having us here in the studio to talk about this fundraiser. I must say that I'm proud to have been married to a beautiful woman from Osing. And I want to say it is equally a privilege to be part of this initiative under the tutelage of Professor Peter Mb here in the studio. I strongly support this initiative, and my objective is to ensure that many who are listening to us buy this initiative and come and support the Osing people. And it is important for people out there to know that the purpose of this fundraiser is to, to strengthen and of course equip the Osing Health Center, and of course launch a vocational and entrepreneurship training program to empower the sons and daughters of Osing, and of course those who live in their environs. And not only that, like the former speaker said, we need to renovate the school buildings, maybe which have been damaged because of the war, or maybe lack of care for a very long time. So if you are bringing your money, I want to assure you that your money will go for a good purpose. And if you are in the DMV or in other states in the United States of America, April 4th is the day. Come and chip in. Nothing is small. We need your money. There are many things that your money will go to. A lot of equipment, we need diagnostic equipment, we need clinical equipment, we need to train administrative staff, and of course clinical staff. So come on and do your part, and we will be very grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Professor Peter B., I'm going to come back over to you. We are appealing for people to come into this fundraiser. If I may ask, what is in there for them? What do we get in return if we come into this fundraiser and make this donation towards the alleviation of some of these challenges that the community is facing?
Thank you, Chief Davinya. In fact, that's a very important question. They said, there's always a proverb that they have said in America, no child left behind. And we're going to look at is there's a lot of areas that when I went to the village in Osing, and I saw that were deteriorating very badly. And when I witnessed the school going down, it was disturbing to me. And I see a woman carrying a child in the back and trying to teach students in the school. That is something that's very, very bad. Then in the summertime, I see the people have nothing to do. Meanwhile, we have people who can support them. Third, you go to the hospital is so run down that we don't have continuity in the hospital. And then the water project we're supposed to do, it started from the Badi project and went to the well, where they were digging wells, and none of the wells are working because everything, the water ran out. Now, the donation from the charity, from people I'm looking for, is to revamp this place. And I hope that with their generous gift, they will turn back one day and look at what they've done. Then they will say, oh, I was a member or I was part of that. They're not doing it to benefit themselves. They're doing it to benefit the society, benefit the community. So when we all do this, we'll turn around one day and look at it and say, oh, I was involved in that. So what they're gaining from here is to alleviate a society where things are getting worse. After the war, the school went down. This actually almost education stopped completely. You don't want these children to run around with no education. Okay, you want to, and as Reverend Dr. Augustine said, we're looking for vocational things for this people, trying to bring them up, and this is that. So your generous contribution is to help the community, so that they can know and be able to help themselves. But then we have to put a continuity. How can we follow up to make sure your money is going to the same thing that is doing the job? So their benefit, people who donate, their benefit is turning back and look at the society and see what they've done and how much they've helped the society. And that's where their money is going. They said, in a way, Osing cannot help them, but how can they help Osing? That's what we're looking for.
Thank you, I think, for that very important point. But I would also like to add, there is nothing wrong. We have to be bold and intentional. There is nothing wrong in the people who are going to donate to this fundraiser are benefiting from the fundraiser. So, Sing Development and Cultural Association is a 501c registered entity here in the US. So it comes with tax benefits. We have to be bold and intentional. We want to move away from the $100, $200 donation for you to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 donation to this marvelous initiative, because you can, at the end of the tax year, claim tax credits for your charitable donations. It is very
Donations.
important, so that our people should begin to understand that in as much as we are helping with the situation on the ground, the government gives us the opportunity here in the US that when you make these donations, at the end of the year, you can claim back these donations. So people should donate freely and as cheerful givers, like the Bible says. So you will not only have that satisfaction of making an impact in your own community, but for those of you who itemize your taxes here in the US, you can use that as leverage to claim back some of the money that you've given to the government. Because the government is telling you, why are you giving me this money? I'm giving you an opportunity to use that money for a genuine and noble cause. Why not use it? So instead of you paying at the end of the year $10,000 to the government, give us $5,000 and you're going to get tax write-off as that charitable donations. When you look at some of the images that are on the screen now, you can see some of the young ones. For those of us who studied in classes like that, this is it gives you chills to see that this is where we all pass through. And then we've come of age, we have acquired the level of education, the experience, and the exposure, and now we have an opportunity to look back and say we can impact this community. So I think that's one of the reasons why I decided to take on this conversation today with Professor Peter Lee, Dr. Augustineta, and Ma Elizabeth both, to make sure that we bring some of these challenges within our communities to the forefront and seek for help from friends and sister organizations, and particularly the proud sons and daughters of Osing village, not only here in the DMV, but across the 50 states. Those in Europe, those in Asia, because the magnitude of these projects do not only rest within the DMV, but they have a global and national significance, given that the impact is going to be across the entire village. Ma Elizabeth, let me bring you in again. What are some of the strategies that you have put in place to drive traffic to Africabana? I think that is the location on the 4th of April, to make sure that we don't go into that hall and end up not seeing or having the desired effect to catch up to the target of $150,000. I see you were trying to be a little bit conservative. I always shoot to the kill. I am saying that we're going to go to that fundraiser and challenge those same people and their friends to come up with $150,000, which is what I think the Osing community, only here in the DMV, because I know there are some big shots. I have some fellows here in the studio here with me. I'm going to be holding them. The fundraiser is going to start here in the studio, and I have some of them who are seated at home listening to us. You should know that we are very serious because we believe in you. You are the reason why these leaders are here in this studio to push this project forward. Ma Elizabeth, over to you.
Thank you once more, Mr. Tabanyang. You know, there's a saying that goes, especially now, if there's anything you can choose to do good. In addition to elevating and empowering that Dr. Peter B alluded to, the Osing indigenous people, I'm glad you brought about the tax benefits, the tax write-off for our guests, our donors, be it the Osing sons and daughters themselves or our friends who are going to come and to support us. We, Odca National, which the DMB Force, it's part of that bigger umbrella. It's a 501c3. It has a 501c3 status, which you have already made reference to with regards to having a tax write-off when you itemize your deduction. So yes, we are a bit conservative, but thank you, Mr. Tabinya, for raising that bar up to 150,000 and even more. So, well, we are selling tables. I see right on the screen right now. We have the VIP Platinum table that goes for $2,000. On the table, you have Black Label, the Don Julio, you have a bottle of champagne, you have a bottle of the 1738, two bottles of wine, and 10 beer sodas. That goes for the $2,000 table. For the VIP table, which goes for 1,500, you have your bottle of champagne, two bottles of the 1738, two bottles of wine, and 10 beers or sodas. You also have a silver table that goes for $1,000. On that table, you have a bottle of 1738, you have two bottles of wine, and 10 beers or soda. So there will be a cash bar in addition to these tables. The cash bar, there is a lot of food. Trust me, we have been preparing for, I said, close to a year now. There's good menu food. It will be free. Water will be free, of course, with that cash bar. We also will be having an egusi pudding cutting for funds. So if you know anything about a manu egusi pudding, you know it is loaded. It is loaded with all the stock fish, the dry fish, everything. So there will be an egusi pudding cutting for funds. So yeah, as I said, the goal, being conservative, is 100,000, but trust me, with all our friends from a wide, far and wide, yes, we are raising that bar to 150,000 and above. Thank you, Mr. Tabinyan.
Thank you, my Elizabeth. I was looking at the images there, and I'm looking only the drinks. I'm like, wait a minute. I know my brother's wife, Dr. Gladys Ayogota, is who comes to cooking some eru, is always loaded with all the obstacles and aquatic condiments. I see Dr. Swat Ayogota, when he's eating, is smiling from ear to ear. So and we have another in-law here, so it was really kind of a surprise for me not to see food. But thank God, you reminded us that that place is going to be blinded with the assorted dishes from Manu, from the major staple, the fufu and eru, the tanchot soup, all the traditional dishes would be there for your savory and taste glands, for us to not only just donate, but to also eat, celebrate, and do the ultimate of making sure that we raise $150,000 on April the 4th at Afrik Cabana Lounge in Laurel, Maryland. Reverend, I'm going to come back to you. Too often we have this laudable initiative, but the problem has always been that of sustainability. How do we make sure that we don't come back to this project with the same problems next year?
Very good question. That and that is in my heart, and that is why we are talking about training and education. Education. We need to train, vocational. The education should be vocationally oriented, so that these people will have the skills. The indigents, they will have the skills to ensure that these hospitals are run, professionally. So that is why this fundraising initiative will ensure that the funds will be used to train not only the clinical staff, or not only to have the equipment, but to train the clinical staff, to train administrative staff in the region. We don't need to take people from a different area to come and work there. We need the indigents themselves, to be trained so that they can sustain this initiative, can be sustainable, so that tomorrow we will not say, okay, we don't have people who are experts to carry on the responsibilities that they need to be carried. We need people to keep records, and that can only be done with people who are trained administratively. We need clerks, we need security to guard, the structures, the equipment. The environment sometimes can be, lawless without security. So we need to train people with a security mindset to guard the environment, to guard the buildings, to guard this equipment, and equally staff who can be cleaning. Sanitation must be at the back of the mind. Clean and keep the environment clean, so that people can come there and have the care they need. And that is why education is necessary. I know that back in Manu and in some villages like that, we have always been teaching people how to read and write. This time around, it's not only about literacy, but it's about having the skills, to do these things. You need to train the midwives. You need to train community health workers. Of course, even traditional health workers, they need to be trained. When they have this training, they're going to be able, to sustain projects and initiatives like that.
And so, it's to add to that, you are practically saying from the conversations that I've had with some members within the community, as far as sustainability is concerned, the fundraising is not just a project, a one-time thing that we're gonna drop something in the bucket and then we're gone, which has been somehow frequent within a lot of the community initiatives that have been run within some of this community. So a lot of the money that you're going to donate, you have to bear in mind that that money would also go towards future maintenance and future, I think basically we're talking about continuing education to some of the local people who would be trained in handling these issues, so that you don't end up with a contractor that comes in and execute a project and is gone. When there is a breakdown, then you have to run after that contractor. You want to make sure that once these projects are established, there is the knowledge within the community that if something happens, they can quickly take care of that problem. So, Professor Peter, I'm going to come back to you. Too often, the people who turn up to support these community-based projects are those who have registered to be members of that meeting. But you have a lot of people with Osing heritage here in this community that are actively not involved in the community associations. That does not in any way negate the fact that they can be called upon to support project of this magnitude within that community. And at the same time, they might benefit in becoming members. So I would want you to succinctly state the mission of the Osing Development and Cultural Association, and what are the strategies for you to continuously recruit people of value and good standing to make sure that your mission becomes easy to accomplish, because as they say, many hands do light work.
Thank you, Chief Tabenyang and Reverend Dr. Augustine. You have asked the right question, Chief Tabenyang. When I took over as president, all those questions were in my mind, because this is something that we haven't done before. This is a project. That's a huge project that we're undertaking. Before, when I took up the thing, first let me add to what you and Dr. Chief Tawenyang, you and Reverend Augustine said. I said continuity. Continuity means if we train nurses, we have to maintain the nurses, maintain the midwife, and we'll be paying them something. There will be a watchdog, there will be somebody who's going to set people up on watch, so that we don't have the project where we go there and do it only once a year. So we have this activities where, oh, we have a health drive, and we do it only once a year, and we go. And if we leave, the people don't have continuity. But we want to train people who can follow up and be keeping these things alive. And they'll be reporting to us, to somebody who is going to be following up to make sure this is happening. Now, how do I get people? We have a lot of SING members, even in DC, and not everybody's in forum. I set up committees. We have 8 committees. And one of the committees is membership committee. This is to let the SING people here in all the DMV area understand that we have a big project that we can do, and they are involved. That's their land. They should remember. Some of their parents, grandparents are still living there. So we want them to join us. No matter what the circumstances, let them come in. They shouldn't come in for a one-time thing. They should come in. So we have committees in there. So when we took over power, we have committees. And that committee for the membership is a committee that tried to get members. We never had this type of committees before. So we set these committees up. We set different committees. I have 8 committees that are set up, and these committees are working to bring people together. The other thing I was trying to talk about, may just mention that, is that as Reverend Dr. Augustine talked about vocational education, once you empower them, you have something that they're going to be doing. And when they have something they're going to be doing, I'm just giving a simple example. A young girl just get out of school and don't have anything to do. What is she thinking about? She's thinking about going to book. We can train the girl vocationally on what to do and provide her with maybe machine or something, sewing machine, and then she can be able to do that and be a tailor in the community. That's just an example of what we're doing. So we're trying to get all the members to see what we're doing, so that they can say, oh, that's my village, and they can register. So that's why this fundraising is going on. We don't want them to come there and bring $1 million. If they have $1 million, we'll be happy. But $10 is fine, $5 is fine, $20 is fine, $50, $100 is fine. But they should not stay back and say, because it's a fundraiser, we're not going to go there because we don't want to pay money. And that is where I am trying to get the people to understand that if it's $10 or $100,000, it's fine, we're going to take it. But come in and see what we're trying to do for the community. That's what we're going to do. Thank you.
Ma Elizabeth, to dovetail to Professor Peter Mbi's last contribution, a lot of the people who came here in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, they have young adults who are already professionals. But it's been very difficult to get through to this generation to also tap into what they can provide back to the unfortunate ones who are back home. How do you intend to reach across this generational divide with the first generation of children that are now young professionals? A lot of them, they're doing they're CPAs, they are IT professionals, they are medical doctors, they are lawyers, and they can do a lot. How do you plan to get across to these Gen Zs, if you call them, and even millennials, to make sure that God has blessed them to come from families that have a history, not like the African Americans who may have to go back to Africa to look for their roots. You have a direct link to somebody that you can trace and call, these are my ancestors. How do we intend to bring them into this mindset to know that they also have a stake in what is happening in these our own communities?
Thank you once again, Mr. Tabenyang. You hit the nail on the head. You're speaking to someone who has this second generation, first generation, second generation that need to be pulled into the fold. What I would say with that is, which is what those who know me, even in the DMV branch, know how passionate this is to me, because sitting here, I have my children who, for better of a lack of a better word, don't know much about Osing village. They were born outside, they grew outside, but I will tell you that all of them, with my encouragement, whatever, they are members of Odca North America. That, to me, it is big. So now, how do we reach out to to the others that fall in that, let me say, situation? It's like what Professor B talked about, membership committees. We can't stop. We just have to reach out to some of them that we know. As I said, my own adult children who would have, let me just say, nothing. They will know nothing about the Osing, even though they are Osing sons and daughters that are now active members of Odca North America. So we just have to put down a structure where we find a way to reach out to them. Maybe even this fundraiser could be a way to bring someone who lives in the DMV area, who has not been, who is not a member of the OTCA North America bigger umbrella, or even the DMV branch. Bring them in, invite them to a meeting, those who are already members. I think that's basically the only way we can bring in that category of of potential ODCA members. So that's as much as I would say, is that I myself, I have children that I have worked very hard to bringing them, and they are active members of the ODCA national structure. Thank
And
you.
thank you, my Elizabeth. I think it is immense for you to proudly articulate that position, that and an understanding that there is a need for us, because the burden lies with the parents. Uh, Most of the time, I think the parents tend to shy, or try to shy away from encouraging these children. Once you try the first time and they say, "Oh, I'm not interested," and the parents just their hands off. But it is important, because in as much as you had the ability to raise that child, give them a good education, and they listen to you, if you demonstrated interest in where you come from, it is possible that you, like what you did successfully, to make them to understand that in as much as they are here, the opportunity that God has provided to you and the family to get them here in this environment where they can excel, there are millions and millions of people, or their own contemporaries back, or even the younger ones, who do not have these opportunities. So, Reverend, how do we communicate with the parents? Because I see it with, given that I have been very active within the fundraising community here in the DMV, and I think even across the country, how do we have a conversation with the parents? that is not only you showing up at these events, because at an early age, most of the parents bring these children to the meetings. But immediately when they attain maturity and they're doing their own thing, it seems like there is no interest. We can't afford to lose the link between our children through us and our own communities back in the mother continent. What kind of conversation do you think we can have with parents to make sure that they should bring these young professionals to integrate our own communities?
And thank you for that very great question. I think it still boils down to education, and education is can take place in many ways. You start by letting the parents know the importance of the culture of a people. The culture is an identification mark. The way the people live and the way the people do their things. And I know that many of these children are born here, and so the parents must do a better job in educating them. And if you ask me, how do we communicate to the parents? The parents are coming right from Manu, maybe from Osing, and so they know the region. And so they need to be encouraged. They need to be informed, maybe placing a call and letting them know the importance of bringing their children to the organizations. The problem I've had from many parents is that maybe the children are bored and they're not interested. But the answer to that is that, these organizations, especially the Osing community, must put in place youth programs that interest these youths or these children who are born in the United States. I know we are living in a different environment, and of course the culture here is different. But there are those educational programs and social programs that can attract these, the children to the organization. Mentorship, programs. You mentioned some of the professions here. There are many doctors, there are many IT professionals, there are many nurses. If we communicate, if the parents communicate to children, to their children, they will come and then they will be mentored, and of course they will be interested in being a part and parcel of the community organization.
And Professor Peter B, over to you. It's not again as much as maybe these young professionals are not interested with things from the continent, because you see a lot of them drifting towards the Nigerian, the Igbo traditions and the Yorubas. I think most of our young girls getting married to the Yoruba people and all of that. We have to encourage them to come in within this our own community to make sure that we're keeping our own future vibrant. We can continue to lose some of the best young minds, the best beautiful young women from our own communities to other communities, which means the onus is on you as the leader to finally put the programs necessary in place to make sure that they also have some excitement to point to it. I think recently the Moninkim dance, the traditional dance, are beginning to spike up a lot of interest. You can see them dancing. So would the Moninkim dance be part of the showcase that evening? I know it will be very charged, but you don't want to go to a major event without you bringing the beauty of Manu to celebrate and showcase why Dr. decided to get married to an Osun woman in that first place.
Thank you, Mr. Tavenyo. Before I elaborate on that issue, I have to thank Dr. Gladys Ayoketa Tato, and also my Vice President, Ma Constance Tato, and my lead, because they've been there, and Reverend Dr. Augustine, and of course, Reverend William Ashu. There are a lot of people I can call their names that I've consulted behind. Talking about Patrick Washu and the rest, I've talked to them behind. That's why I come up with the idea. So we're talking about the culture. How I have come in when I came in, which is something that you can see in place, is I didn't only have the committees together. I have 8 committees that are formed. One is mentorship now, which Reverend Augustine just talked about. We have medical doctors, we have lawyers in that community, we have engineers in that community. So every time when we have a meeting, some of the children stay upstairs. We want one of the mentors to be there and talk to them and give them our culture. We play a little bit of video about our cultures, not only from Osing, the Manu culture, so that they see how we behave. The second thing that I established was the mentorship, which you mentioned, which I'm going to clarify how we did it. I told them, all the active members in Osing, whether in Odca Dmv, whether you're an active member or not, but bring your children and register, and Reverend Augustine will bear witness to that, I've said that. Bring the children and register. They're not going to pay a fee. Register them so that we don't lose them in the community. You understand? Because if they don't register in the community, then they're going to fall off, and then they're going to go with people that they're not familiar with. Now, the other thing I try to do is to reward the children coming there. You register your child. I don't care how many children you have. They don't pay fees, but you put them in that society because we're going to train them and things like that. So we have all those things in place. The other thing that I was trying to do eventually, as we go along this work, is to establish some kind of assistance for the students who do well in the village, so that they can come back and say, oh, we have to come back to our community and help other people that are there. The point is, we'll have to get their mindset to know that this is coming. So during meeting, one of the elders goes and lecture the children, sit down, talk to them, and mentor them, and they watch videos, maybe videos from the village, not only Manu, not only Osing Odca videos. They watch general video depending on that week that is said. They watch video from different Manu society. Those are things that I put in place. So we have 8 committees: mentorship, we have membership, we have council of elders, we have all kinds of communities where we help the children to bring them. But the most important thing is register your children, bring them in, register them. Don't be scared that you're going to pay fees, because the first thing is people say, oh, I'm paying fees every month, or this is. No, bring them and register them so that they can know where they come from. And we have mentors who are there, who are going to be helping these kids growing up, so that they remember where they come from. So I'm very happy you asked that question, and it's a very important question, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Prof. And before we run off, Ma Elizabeth, let's go back to the beginning. I think we came here to raise some money. The reason I was going around meandering and looking about the doctors, the lawyers, the RON, the DNPs, there are a whole lot of them here now, to get back to the money part. So I was going to get you to launch this fundraising project here in the studio with the professor sitting right there, given that we cannot continue to live in this pristine environment, in air-conditioned homes and offices, and we cannot be bold and intentional when it comes to giving back to our own communities. And I think it is satisfactory when you do good and it goes to where you come from. Because what is the essence of education if you cannot use that education to impact or enhance the living standards within your own community? Our community today is the great people from the Osing chiefdom. If you're watching the show, you can see the dilapidated nature of some of the classrooms. You can even see that if the classrooms look like this, then the sanitation would be horrible. And I think this initiative is focused and making sure that we can alleviate some of the challenges in these institutions. Healthcare is very, very important and paramount to the Osing people. The girls' child education is very important, not to in any way say that the boys are not as important. So I would want you to call on the professor here. I don't want to put a number on him because I know what he can do. I am not holding him to a lesser standard. I have the national president and my brother there, Dr. Swata Iwota. I will be holding them I think I will make sure to be at that fundraiser on the 4th to hold people to account. Because when you're given for a worthy cause to your own people, it is something of a celebration. It's not something as if anyone is compelling you to do it, but it's something that you should look deep within yourself. The reason why a lot of people say the United States is the shining star in on top of the hill or the city that they call it is because of the given nature of the people in this great country. And because of the philanthropy and the government giving us the opportunity to donate, we have to also take advantage of that. So I want to leave this studio. I thought Seseku Esquire Solomon Egbe was supposed to be here, but he dodged my bullet. I'm sending him a message that I should be expecting about. I'm not going to hit the number until the president does his thing. And I have my friends across the U.S. and here in the DMV and even in Europe that I will be calling them that this is a worthy cause for a genuine and well-structured organization. It's not the groups that we see out here. Within a few years, the group has really stood on its feet and they are really pushing forward with the strength and the blessings of the good Lord and our ancestors. So, Ma Elizabeth, this is your thing. You call us here and you call the Osing people that we can do it. So let's go.
Yeah, thank you again, Mr. Benyang, for having us here today. You don't know how much this means to us. Yes, we already set ourselves a higher goal, thanks to you, for 150,000. We have with us our president. I know he is one of the most generous persons. He gives and gives and gives. And of course, Reverend Dr. Eta, who is there present. I also want to thank all those in advance, all our donors, those who are going to come and to give us. If, as we are here live, any one of you want to pledge, I would gladly receive that right here in the air, starting with our president, Professor Peter Mbi, and the Reverend Dr. Eta, and you, our host, Mr. Lippingham. I am not leaving you out of this. I, that 150,000, I actually, it's chicken change. We can do it. We can do it. We, just like we said in the beginning, there is a multiplier effect here. You give to this initiative, is gonna go a long way. You educate, especially a girl child. We know a lot of them are still there in the village. You empower a whole society. So I'm calling on all of our friends, the Osing community, the Manu community, the Cameroon community, whoever, we are calling upon you to come and to support this initiative. And remember, we can write it off as a tax because it's a charitable organization. We can use it as a deduction for our taxes. So you give it to the government, the United States government is good, but you can also give us a little share of that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Elizabeth. There's a reason why I did not go to the Reverend. You know, all the money goes to the church now. So, you know, I didn't want to go there. I know exactly where I'm going to try to have the Reverend do his thing. I was going to go first to let the president do it, and then the good Lord, because today is Palm Sunday, and you don't want to upstage the good Lord. So I needed the professor to come in and do his thing, and then have the Reverend tell him and show him how to do it.
Oh, no.
Because the Reverend measures, doubles as our in-law, and then the spiritual guide of this fundraiser. So it's double. Prof,
Yes.
how would you start this fundraiser?
Well, first of all, my Elizabeth, thank you very much for telling about my generosity. I have been doing a lot of stuff in the village independently by myself. I've been giving them food every year. I feed the villagers. I send them a couple of cows a year, rice and everything. I don't think it's enough, because when I go there, I see them eat the food. Even the sanitation is not good. Where they kill their cows, it's not good. That is something that if you visit the village, you see how appreciative they are. That's when you're going to know. So in this fundraising, it has a multiple area for me. For this fundraising, I am willing to put down $5,000 as
Yes.
a donation, because also, don't forget we have the goosey pudding fair, which I'm not going to disclose how much I'm going to give them.
Definitely.
Okay, so right now, my donation for the fundraiser is $5,000 that I'm going to put down.
My Elizabeth, I know I was going to say put your hands together for the professor here, but the way I was brought up, I don't want the only woman that we have on the studio to be clapping for three gentlemen. But I see you clap because it is for a reason that it's not every day that you get a gentleman comes in. That shows how bold and intentional his leadership in leading this initiative. And not only the initiative, the people of Osing from the DMV, I don't even know why we call it DMV, the people in Delaware are even closer to some areas in Virginia. So everybody that is in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and DC, this is a call for you to stand up for your own community. It is imperative. It's very, very important. And I'm going to look on my right where our in-law, one is, I know one of them, Dr. Swaz, I'm sending this message to you. Know that you are not only married to the national president, you are married to a princess from that kingdom. So beware that I will be coming after you. Reverend, let the good Lord speak to us.
Oh my goodness. No, thank you again. This is a wonderful initiative, and I'm one of those persons who will encourage people to give and to give bountifully. If you sow bountifully, you will reap bountifully. You know, and if you sow sparingly, you will equally reap sparingly. I want to thank Professor Peter B. That is what we call leadership, and of course sacrifice. I'm really blown away. But for my case, I want to say, first of all, I'm blessed by God. I preached a sermon today about support. You know, the Israelites wouldn't have been able to defeat the Amalekites without the support given to Moses by Aaron and Hur. The scripture said, as his hands were up, as the Moses' hands were up, you know, the Israelites were winning. But when the hands were lowered, you know, the Amalekites were gaining ground. And so they decided, Aaron and Hur decided to lift his hands up. So what I'm going to play now is to leave the hand of the president up. And with that, I am going to donate a sum of $1,000.
And my Elizabeth, it's happening here. I think I'm happy with what the Reverend did, because most of the time it's not about the amount of money that you put in, but the mind and the prayer for the event to succeed hitch-free, and for the blessing to implore the Lord to bless the givers during that evening, starting from today, because we're not going to sit back and wait until 4th of April to get our people to up to speed. I would hope that we have a list of the targeted donors so that we can aggressively reach out to them. I have sent Seseku Solomon Egbe a message. I should know that as a son of the soil, this is a chance for him to come in boldly. I have sent Chairman Juweyong a message. They should know that these communities are not limited to the leadership of the organization, but to the proud sons and daughters of that community. Bring your friends. What is the essence of you having a multitude of friends and you cannot leverage them to support your own community? Meanwhile, they are leveraging you when they have events. So you have to take advantage of them. On that note, Ma Elizabeth, I am going to flip it back to you as the chair of that committee. I know you pointed that you have some really fine gentlemen and beautiful ladies in that house that you brought up in the spirit of our people. How do you challenge these two? I'm not going to say challenge. The Reverend said, help raise their hands higher. We're not going to challenge them. We're going to help raise their hands higher.
Okay, Mr. Tabenyang. You know, I am the widow in the house, so I cannot speak for this group. I would have to go consult with them, but I would go ahead and pledge $500
That's
to
your stocking.
start. Yes.
And
So
I think, thank you, Mama, for that pledge. And I think this is also a teachable moment and a lesson that you understand the importance of us maintaining the decorum in the house, that you don't just go and speak loosely. You have to consult with the entire house. I think our younger generation would learn the more and more they interact with people of your caliber in our community. So thank you for your services, sacrifice, the dedication, and commitment to the projects and activities that help towards changing outcomes in our underprivileged communities. Prof,
Yes.
let me start with the Reverend. I'll give you the final word. Reverend, your final word and appeal to the larger Osing community and friends of Osing village and the DMV.
I want to encourage everyone to be there. I want people to attend that ceremony en masse and donate and make meaningful impact in the lives of people. You know, there is a passage in the scripture that teaches me so greatly. There was a man known as the young rich ruler. You know, he ran to Jesus that, what can I do to enter the kingdom of God? And Jesus told him to, in fact, he enumerated the commandments. And the guy was so proud. And he said, from when I was born, you know, I have kept this thing. I'm fine. I'm a righteous guy. But Jesus looked at him and told him that you lack one thing. Go and sell everything and give to the poor. And when he heard that, he turned away and departed from the presence of Jesus sorrowfully. And what does that teach you? No matter what you do, for you to make your way to the kingdom of God, you need to open your hands and give to those who are less privileged. Come and make impact in the life of that son, Osing. Come and make an impact in the life of that daughter. You know, come and help that elderly man who will not be able to trek or get behind the bike to Manfi to receive good health care. And when you do that, I want to assure you that you're going to be blessed by the living God.
Thank you, Reverend. Before I get to Prof for his final word, Lati, can you put that address again on the screen for us, please? Prof, over to you.
Thank you, Chief Tabenyan. I think people don't know that you were the chief of Mecca a long time ago.
Very young age, right?
Reveal your secret. And you did a good job when you were the chief.
Thank you so
Mecca,
much.
trust me. And you made me attend Mecca meeting.
Yeah.
Because there was one time that I gave up about Manu.
Yeah.
You guys were preaching Manu, and I was not very happy because you were doing everything to bring us together.
Yeah.
The people were not showing up, and when they show up, there's always
Argument.
disarray and argument. And I don't like argument. I don't like to fight. If you want to be a friend, you be a friend. But you got me to come back to Mecca, DC, which was one of the biggest organizations here. So people should know the impact you've played in Mecca, in Manu, in this community. And I've seen the work you've done for the people of Bismarck. I have seen it. And that's why all these ideas in my head is a challenge from people like you. And I don't want you to think that this is a joke or something. It's something that I'm telling you that I appreciate it. I've never told you this before, but I'm telling you now. And I know my sister Pauline will tell you that that's true. So you're one of the greatest people here, but you never know that you are a great person. So I want to use the same style that you've used. I want to try, because you either lead, follow, or get out of the way. So I am going to follow your leadership. And that's why I want to introduce to Osing. We are starting with baby steps. We might move from Osing to other communities. Because if we start one thing and other communities are saying it, we can join them. So it doesn't matter where you come from, Osing, you come from Akwaya, you come from Bismuba, you come from Upper Banya. It doesn't matter where you come from. That gift that you're going to bring has a lot of impact for Osing people. So for me, what I would tell them, if we come together, all of us, we have a lot of community here. If we come together here, all of us, we can restore everything in that what we're talking about. If we come together, all of us here, we can also get things, continuity for everything. And if we come together, we can restore life. Life is the most important thing, and that's what we're lacking. So please come out of wherever you are. As I said earlier, $10 to $1 million, we take it. You don't have to be a millionaire, you don't have to be a poor person not to show up. Please show up. It doesn't matter, we have an organization here, and I'm pleading to every society. And Reverend Dr. Augustine, you're one of the presidents of the biggest society here, it's called MESFA. So I wish all the people from MESFA can show up. Mecca can show up. Bismarck can show up. Inchan can show up. Kimbon can show up. Afab can show up. Upper Banyan can show up. This is what we do, because when one society has something, we have to support that society. Please come out and do the best, because one day we'll turn around and say we did something for our own community. Thank you very much.
And on that, thank you, Professor Peter Mb, Dr. Reverend Manuel Eta, and Ma Elizabeth Ebot, and to the entire Osing community here in the DMV and across the 50 continental states in the US, across Europe, Asia, and in the mother continent. The event again is Odca Dmv Fundraiser, slated on April the 4th, 2026 at 7 p.m. We said 7 p.m., not African time. 7 p.m. The address is the beautiful Afrik Cabana Lounge Center, located in Laurel, Maryland, 13501 Baltimore Avenue, Laurel, Maryland, 20707. The location again is Afrik Cabana Lounge Center, 13501 Baltimore Avenue, Laurel, Maryland, 20707. There is something that you've not seen happen before that the Osing community is reserving for you, our invited guests, for your donations. you would also enjoy the evening because we are going to party for a good cause. It is not just us coming together, but we're coming together to party for a good cause. We are being invited by the great people, some of the finest and the pride of Manu Division when it comes to that great and historic village of Osing. I'm not saying this lightly, given that you have a proud Bismarck man here, yapping his mouth. But I will give it to the Osing people. Like I said, from my other in-law here, that I always thought Osing people are in London. But they are showing us differently. They are here. And we will come out in our numbers. We are appealing to all of you, wherever you are. Bring your friends, bring your spouse, bring your significant others. We are not going to discriminate whether you are left or right. We hope this is going to be a wonderful event to the benefit of our communities back in Manu. I want to thank my studio director, Lati, for making sure that this show ran very smoothly. Our executive director, Jean-Marie Watonsi, and all the team here in Media to Africa for giving those Sing people the platform to not only demonstrate what they are capable of doing, what they have done, but what Odca Dmv and by extension Odca Global is worthy of the name of the great people from that village. So thank you and good night.